I used to ride four-wheelers a lot. I mean, growing up where my dad lives, outside of Lafayette in a town called Pennon, we used to ride four-wheelers all the time. I mean, my dad was married to a woman for 9 years, from the time I was about 5 years old till I was about 14. And she had 2 sons, and one of those guys was just a year older than me, and the other was a few years older. And my stepbrother, the one that was just a year older than me, his name was Jared. He went to school there in Lafayette, and so he had a lot of friends, and so they became my friends, Adam and a guy named Bubba. They were the friends. I mean, there were a few other people that would come and go here and there, but those were the mainstays. And we used to ride bikes long before we got four-wheelers. We'd ride bikes everywhere. I mean, I can't tell you how far we actually rode on a bicycle. I mean, it's wild to think how far we would ride on a bicycle. Just way back in the country, getting chased by packs of dogs. You come by, on a gang of bicycles, and then dogs would just start running out from under the porch. You go down some dirt road, and dogs would just come piling out of this porch, chasing you. And we would just ride all over the place. We'd go down to the river. I think it's I don't know the river. I don't know why I can't think of the river, but Tallahassee River maybe? Tallapoosa River? I think it's Tallapoosa. We'd go down there to the river. I don't think we were swimming back when we were on bicycles because it's hard to ride a bike wet. So I don't think we were swimming down. We eventually did end up swimming in the river, but we would bike everywhere. But as we got older, we all started to get these four-wheelers. And most of us, we all had four-wheel drive four-wheelers. So they were pretty fast. But, they weren't like speedsters out here, and you couldn't jump hills or anything. But we would ride them pretty hard. And my dad didn't like us to ride them in the mud, so we wouldn't do that a lot because it was hard to clean them up in time. You could never really get them. You could never hide it. Because even if we would ride in the mud and then come home and wash them off before my dad got home, they'd always be like, my dad could see all the mud and the grass and the water and be like, oh, you took the four-wheelers mudding, huh? So we never did a lot of that, but we would ride just four-wheelers all the time, dirt roads and in the middle of the woods. And there was a place called, I think it's called Allen's Mill, where it was like just a big rock area where it had water flowing all over. It wasn't really a waterfall, just kind of a water slide. And then there was a place called Ripville, and Ripville had a water slide, like a rock slide that you could slide down into a pool of water. I've talked about that before, but we would go riding back there, back roads, all back in there. I mean, just a lot of fun.